Hey everybody, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. Today is round 2 playing with this KAB Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. I also want to test cream blush by setting it with some setting powder and see if it will make it last longer. I'm going to use e.l.f. setting powder on one side and not on the other. I saw another influencer talking about cream blush lasting longer with a blush topper, so we'll see. This is the BS Small Mini Flame brush, and I'm going to grab 2 shades. This is Naked as well as Georgia Peach. I thought it was a good combination to start with the base. My face had already been prepped with Revlon Illuminance foundation in the shade Creamy Natural. I prepped my eyes with the Stila Correct and Conceal palette using a peach corrector as well as the yellow cream concealer. And I brushed a little bit of the e.l.f. HD setting powder as well over the top as a primer. My skin has been so dry. It's been very difficult to work with and make anything look nice. So anyway, I'm doing my best. This is the shade Sand in the palette. I wanted to use this to start to build in my crease. The brush I'm using is the BS Mall combination brush. My last video that I recorded, I was using this indie palette. This is this KAB. It's an independent cosmetics company. And I was just really impressed at the quality of the formulas in the palette, the pigment, the ease of application. It's a very nice palette. I believe that this is a palette that's better suited for maybe more advanced makeup artists. I mean, it's not like you can't use it as a beginner. I'm not saying that, but again, today I was using more familiar color combinations, but still struggling a little bit, having a hard time over applying or underestimating the pigment or overestimating the pigment. So it's just been an experiment, but I really like this palette. Here I'm going to go ahead and pick up a shimmer shade, and this is the shade Luna. It looked dark enough in the palette to me that I thought that it would be a good lid shade without having to apply another matte shade. Some of these matte shades in here, they're so rich. I just didn't want to add that much drama, but I found that it was a little bit too sheer. I have a different background here in my video because I am visiting a friend and my lighting situation isn't totally awesome, but I wasn't going to let that deter me from making another video. Okay, so I'm continuing to apply this and just to see if I can build it up. Probably would have been better if I'd had a base shade in combination with this one. Now I know. So I'm going to take this Pharmacy crease brush here, and I'm picking up the shade Cocoa. I'm going to add a little more dimension and depth there in the crease and see if I can break up the lighter shades a little bit better. I am being very gingerly here because, frankly, I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't know why. It's just makeup, but I guess because I'm recording it for everybody to watch. Because trust me, if nobody was going to be looking at this pretty much but me, yeah, I'd be a lot more relaxed about it. All right, I'm going to pick up this Pharmacy blending brush and see if I can smooth it out a little bit. I noticed that I was I was muddying the colors up a little bit too much. So I just wasn't super happy again with the job that I had done with this eyeshadow. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. It's just the transition between the colors. I mean, it just wasn't that great. All right, I am picking up this Urban Decay Naked Dual Eyeshadow Brush, and I'm going in with the shade Naked again, and I'm going to bring some more light because right in these areas here, it's just dark and it just feels like it's not flattering. So I want to bring more light. I am not a heavy makeup drama eyeshadow girl just in general. Like, I just don't typically go to these lengths in a normal day. You know, this is just fun experimenting with the palette and seeing what it does and sharing with you all. So I'm uncomfortable when things don't look, I guess, clean or blended well. I know enough about eyeshadow application to know that there should be transition shades and for them not to bleed into each other and look muddy, but yet not to where there's sharp lines really either, unless of course you're really going for the super professional, like awesome MUA type skill. All right, this is a BS Mall concealer brush. It's very stiff. I picked up the shade Dusk. It had a darker pigment that I was really actually quite satisfied. The thing about these shimmers, I don't see any fallout, which blows my mind because shimmers typically, you're going to see fallout. So this palette, you know, the quality, the fact that it's not falling all over my face just blows my mind. Well, I decided to pick up a lighter shimmer shade. This is called Starlight. I like how it brought some light to my lid and sort of balanced things out a little bit. This I was happy with. It's kind of hard to see with the poor lighting, you guys. I'm so sorry about the lighting today. I am working on that, so thanks for sticking with me. I thought that it would be fun to try a completely, totally different shade for a liner than I ever do. This is the shade Terracotta. It made a terrible eyeliner for someone like me. Again, somebody who's more professional might really be able to make this work, but I do not like the shade of this terracotta against the other colors I had on my lid, so I just blended them out. So here we go, picking up Cocoa again. We're just going to use that as our trusty standby for liner. Again, something to note, this is the darkest shade on the palette in the matte shades, and there is just absolutely no fallout. So if anything was going to make a mess, it would be this one, but it didn't. That is huge. Cleaning up eyeshadow that's fallen all over your face, especially if you've already applied face makeup, is a total drag. I don't know how they did that, but, you know, good job. Thumbs up, KAB, seriously. Adding a little bit more of this cocoa shade there in the crease, creating a little bit more of definition between the color transition. This liner brush helps the lines be a little more sharp, and so that the colors weren't muddied together quite so much. Whew, thank goodness, time to put some color on that pale face. This is the Milani Cheek Kiss in the shade Nude Kiss. And I'm going to use this flat blush brush from BS Mall to apply. I'm going to be kind of liberal and then clean it up a little bit. But I was really kind of curious about using a blush topper or a powder to set the cream blush, because I was hoping to see if it would last a little longer. So the only real option I had was my e.l.f. HD setting powder. I don't really have another powder blush that matches sort of this, nude shade. So that was the best I could do for today, but it was a good experiment. And you'll see here in a minute how that worked out. Here it got a little tricky. I'm only applying the powder to one side of my cheek, my right side of my face, and then I was setting my makeup under my eyes and trying to avoid that blush area as much as possible. Then I brought in my Laura Geller Baked Bronze and Brighten to warm things up with this BS Mall powder brush, and tried to avoid the cream blush on both sides as much as possible, just to keep the color as true as I could. In case anybody else is dealing with static electricity in this cold, dry air, you are not alone. Six-hour check-in. So much for testing this cream blush set with powder, because I could not match the light no matter where I went. I went in 2 different rooms. I used an additional lighting device. I just can't tell. And frankly, I can't really tell if the blush stayed on better on either side. You know what? I can't believe I'm letting anybody see me like this, to be honest with you, but okie doke, I'll take one for the team. I can't tell. We'll try it again under different circumstances next time. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.